Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News.
Our next guest, Dr. Omawunmi Urhobo, worked in public service for over 32 years, from the Federal Ministry of Social Development to the National Planning Commission. She also served as Delta State Coordinator at the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Dr. Urhobo is an APC Chieftain in Delta State, Director of Women Affairs, Patutomi Campaign Organization, and campaigner for economic empowerment of women in Niger Delta. She's here to talk about the political scene in Delta State and more. Dr. Urhobo, welcome to the morning show.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
It's a privilege to be here.
Yeah. So what was your experience when you did this campaign with Patutomi and you were able to mobilize all these women for his campaign?
Well, we were very enthusiastic because we thought we've got the Messiah, in quote, because it's Jesus Christ that is our Messiah. But with Patutomi coming on the scene, we thought things were just going to change, knowing his antecedent. So for me, it was a complete challenge to go in there and mobilize women. And we did. We set up a network of women across the state to the unit level. Then something terrible happened.
Professor Tommy was on this program a while ago, and I mean, I've never seen him that angry.
Yes.
He's
usually a very calm, diplomatic, very humble person, But that day, I mean, shortly after the primaries, he was on fire. What exactly happened? Because he said, look, the APC just mismanaged the entire process in Delta State, and that he was ready to go back to the streets. You must have witnessed what happened. Yeah. We would like to have your own version.
I did. Actually, I'm not the usual politician. I only just came into politics a few years ago, and I was looking for politics to give me the platform to advance the economic empowerment of women, because I thought that was what was the only way to actually draw attention to the absolute poverty that our women are suffering there. So I joined. Then out of the blues, Patutomi wanted to be governor, and I said, Jesus, I think the Messiah has come. So we went out into the field. We went to all the units, cronies in Delta State. We mobilized the women. We got women to register to vote, because luckily APC now said registration was online, so it made it easier for us to set up registration, and we mobilized women, hoping that we're going to have a direct primary, because that is what President Buhari himself asked for himself. And I thought that was going to happen. So we're all excited, because it was now a question of calling on the people, on the ordinary person, to come and decide on his own fate in terms of voting for somebody that they know will watch out for their interests. So we were ready. Then something terrible happened. 5 contestants for a position. There were 5 governorship candidates. 4 of them said they wanted direct primary. In fact, the 5th one actually said it doesn't matter either way, they could do it. Then the terrible thing happened. They said we're going to go for indirect primaries. Why would you want to do that when most of the contestants say they want direct primaries? Okay, granted. Can we have the delegate list, so at least we know those who are going to contest, those who are going to vote for the contest, so we can at least lobby them to get them on our side, vote for our own candidate, because they are the one. He's the one that we never got any delegate.
So there were no delegate.
There was no delegate list. And when the head of the panel came and they had their meeting, and Professor Tommy actually asked, where is the delegate list? Because before that, he has written officially asking for the delegate list, and the chairman of the Delta State APC, supposed chairman, actually said it was the national that was bringing the list. It's documented. So when they came and said, where's the list? And they said, oh, well, it doesn't matter, we are family. I mean, it's the most insulting thing that can happen to anybody. Will let us go and do the voting. I should go and do the voting when I don't even know is going to vote for me. I mean, it was too much to accept, really. So that was what happened.
So will you say that the APC doesn't stand a chance in Delta State, particularly with the fact that you have had a number of defections? This politician called Impression, Chief Emmanuel Uguda.
Okay.
He has even left the party. He has gone to the PDP. And people are saying, look, with the exit of persons like him and others, that the APC will lose. And that this is a sure banker, you know,
I won't say that.
For the PDP in Delta.
I won't say that unless there's a deliberate conspiracy to make the APC lose in Delta State. We have all it takes to win the election. We have all it takes. Yeah, 1 or 2 persons can drop out, but again, well, it's the resilience of politicians. You know where your interests lie, so you want to just quickly. But the core of the APC members are there in the grassroots. You can't believe me. Till today, the women say to me, is this how it's going to end? Is this how it's going to end? Because we've mobilized to the unit level, my brother. We were ready, and we saw victory before us. Because Patitomi was coming with something different. Something different. Delta State is in a mess. There's no doubt about that. The infrastructure, in fact, when I look at the women's situation, it always breaks my heart. I've done work with the women in the last 15 years with my foundation. When I was the Delta State coordinator for the NDDC, I traveled wide, near and far in Delta State, especially the riverine communities. And what do I see anytime I look at the women? Poverty. Poverty. Absolute deprivation that is bordering on a mortal sin against the women.
Let's talk a little bit about women.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, APC women went to the party secretariat and they said, look, the entire primaries process conducted by the APC was a sham in terms of gender equality, gender justice, gender equality. That, you know, APC women were promised 35% affirmative action. But if you look at the representation at the end of the day, just about 0.5%. They were saying, look, give us our money back, you know, because you say this party said it will encourage women, but it has not encouraged women. Do you, as a coordinator in charge of women affairs, do you agree with those people
absolutely,
who went to protest?
Absolutely. I agree with them, absolutely. Because it's bad enough for women to actually, to summon the courage to come out to contest. You know, it takes a lot of courage. And then the financial implication.
Okay, we don't have much time on this segment. I know that you're an advocate for women, and then you've also talked to the National Committee and, you know, gathered some special funds for women in Delta State.
Yeah, well, I did an advocacy.
Talk to us really quickly about that.
Yes, we did an advocacy to the National Council of Women, National Council on the Niger Delta, which is the biggest organ that interface on the issues in the Niger Delta, where we made a strong case that the only way to address the issue of poverty for the women in Niger Delta is to set up a special fund. And by the grace of God, my foundation did advocacy, and it was approved. Okay. Not only the fund, also to identify local technology that will improve and make more efficient the production of capacity of the women, because they are the ones that the engine room of the informal sector, they are the one keeping this country going, the women, and you look at them and you will weep because they're not getting anything from government, nothing.
The way that you sound now, you sound like in Delta State there was a lot of participation of women in politics.
Yes.
And that's...
Well, in terms of creating the awareness, we created the awareness, and women were quite enthusiastic. They came out. You know, even without money or anything, they come because they're looking at the future. We created the bright future. Patitomi has been doing, what they call it, taking care of widows and all that with his own money over the years. You can imagine what he will now do when he have public funds. He's promised this 5,000, 7,000 for all widows in the States and other programs. You know, so the women were ready. And this is what I think our president, Buhari, wanted. Because the social investment program was targeted towards the poor women. The poor women, we have the school feeding, we have the little loan, the work money or something, we have the direct transfer for the... These are things that were supposed to touch the core of the women, and we have zeroed into it to get the women to be ready. Then something happened.
Well, before you came onto the program, we had a conversation with the National Publicity Secretary of your party, the APC, and he was insisting that all is well with the party.
Well, there's a grand cover-up, as far as I'm concerned. There's a grand cover-up. Why will anybody come to Delta State to dictate to us who is going to rule us? Getting the APC to dislodge PDP in the state. How can you come to us and change the whole narrative by bringing somebody who is not popular and telling the whole of Delta North that they are stupid, that they are not entitled to their 8 years of governorship, since Delta Central already had their 2 terms with Bori and one with Delta South. Now you want to dislodge Okowa. We really want to dislodge Okowa. But why would you bring somebody from the Delta Central to come and dislodge somebody in the North when they've not had their 8 terms? It just doesn't make any sense.
Do you share the view that Adams Oshiomhole, as party chairman at the national level, is not providing necessary leadership?
I absolutely agree with you. It's not. It's either it's being misinformed or something. Because why do you generate crisis where there's none? Delta State was a very simple, straightforward situation. Do a direct primaries and get everybody to decide who they want, and then everybody, whoever loses, will collapse their structure into. Then you insisted on an indirect primaries. You also insisted on not giving us the delegate list. And you can't believe it. It was the delegate list of one of the favored contestants, that is Ogboru, that they used to conduct an election. How do you do things like that?
Well, with this situation in Delta and in other states, some people are already saying there are 5th columnists in the APC who do not want President Buhari to win.
I agree. Absolutely.
Do you think the president will get a second term with his own people?
I would love for him to get a second time, but there's a 5th columnist that is working against him coming back.
A 5th columnist? Who is that?
Who?
You said there is a 5th columnist.
Yes. Yes.
So, do you want to identify that 5th columnist?
Unfortunately, I will not do that. I don't have...
Why? Mention the person.
No, I don't have to, because they know themselves. There's some calculation about future position. The presidency in 2023. All these are the things that are coming into play. Then the fact that Buhari is going to be ruthless in his coming second term, because all the fraud, the corrupt people in this country, whether you are hiding under APC or PDP, they're going to go in for it. So it's better just not let him, but they're not going to succeed.
So will you prefer the PDP to win the presidency?
I can never, absolutely never prefer, because Buhari means well for the ordinary people of this country. The PDP has a complete disconnect with the people of this country, the ordinary people. And it's the ordinary people I'm interested in. It's the ordinary people that the majority in this country.
You are a member of the elite class.
I'm not a member of the elite class. I refuse. When they call me a chieftain, I say, what is that? I am a PDP card holder who went to my local government, to my unit, to start mobilizing, to identify. So, and they love me because I identify with them, not the people who are up there somewhere who claim to be the chieftains and the leaders who do not have any connection with the ordinary people. They can't even see anything. They can't. And it's not fair for the people of this country. They are distorting President Buhari's program for the people. And my foundation has always fought for women and the youth of this country. And I see the sincerity of President Buhari for the ordinary people in this country. But the 5th columnists who don't care, it's all about themselves and what they stand to achieve and the money they want to make. I don't know what they want to do with the billions that they keep stealing. They are the one that is trying to hold all of us to ransom. And it's not fair.
Well, thank you very much, Dr.
Omawunmi
Urhobo, for coming to the morning show.
Thank you.
This has been very engaging.
Thank you. I think I have the opportunity to vent my anger
yes,
now.
Finally you do. Well, I hope that I'll see you run for governorship soon.
Well, why not?
Yes,
why not? The women of this country, we've got to come out strong.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
It's time now for a short break.